Hi, I'm Brittany with Conde Systems, and I'm here today to go over the various accessories that we offer here at Conde. Now you'll notice that when I'm doing all the different presses, depending on what we're making that day, we may use different things such as like a heat pad, heat tape versus pro spray. So real quick, I just want to introduce everything to you, let you know what you can do and how to make things better when you go to press. So what I have first here, this is the vapor foam kit. What it is, it's a large piece of foam and you can cut it out so that it will fit any size that you're going to be using. So if you're doing t-shirts, you can cut it out so that you can use this for your insert. And it's great to use foam for things like garments, anywhere where you're going to have a crease, like on a t-shirt by your shoulder. You can use the foam kit, and what it does is it puffs it out so that the ink comes out nice and even so you don't have a crease or a lack of image. Also, there's the Teflon pillow. This is something else that's great for things like t-shirts because it has the cushion for the press, and again, you can get out the creases. And Teflon's a great thing to use because if any ink were to get on it, it will sit on top. Be sure to wipe it off because if you accidentally leave it on there, when you go to do your next item, that ink can relay back onto your new piece. So be careful with that, but Teflon's great. It won't get any ink on there, and the pillow is just enough cushion to make sure that you get all of your creases. We have the Nomex pads. They come in several different thicknesses. I brought some of our smaller. You can do this also by the yard. So if you need a certain amount, you can get a foot, you can get 2 feet. However you want to do it, you can order it through your Conde agent, or we also just do standard sizes. This is great because it's heat conductive and it will help cushion things like tiles. If you're going to be pressing with the tiles, it gives it a nice soft cushion. And again, making sure that the image goes all the way around your tile when it's face down. Light cover switches, also a good idea too. Anything that's not going to be extremely flat or something that's more fragile. The green rubber pad, what this does is it evenly distributes the heat over your item. You may see us even do the Nomex pad with the rubber pad, do something like the tile or a light switch. And what it does is it just nice and evenly keeps the heat going around all the corners and edges of the item if it's not a completely flat piece of substrate that you're using. And that's a great tool to have. Also, we have a Teflon sheet. You can use these almost as opposed to a protective sheet of paper. What I like to use the Teflon for, and what we highly suggest, is when you get your press, you get a large piece of Teflon, and you'll notice the bottom is rubber. So get a large piece of Teflon and tape down the corners. What this does is it ensures that no ink is going to just sit at the bottom of your press. So for instance, if I didn't have this and I were to press an image, it won't get soaked into that dark rubber pad. And so then the next time I go to use my press, it will transfer onto my substrate. And you'll also want to use protective paper with your Teflon bottom. So you'll notice we normally put a sheet of protective paper down, put our substrate with our image, and then another sheet of protective paper. The Teflon is just an extra protective accessory that we use, and it's a really great tool to have because it will not keep ink absorbed in that surface. You can just easily wipe it off. Now the big debate between heat tape and pro spray. I personally try to use heat tape as often as I can just because it seems to be something that can be a little bit easier and it can be less likely to shift, although the pro spray does allow you to move if it's not perfectly placed the first time. But with the heat tape, it doesn't always work out that well with certain items. If you have things like doing a ribbon, if you're putting a piece of heat tape on there, you can actually leave a slight indentation or a slight fade on your image transfer. So something like that, you're going to want to use a pro spray. If you're doing something like a tile maybe, or just a FRP, you can use things like heat tape because the item's thick enough so that you won't see any image or any tape residue at all, and you'll just be able to peel it right off. Sometimes when you're doing the pro spray, if your nozzle isn't clean and you're not paying attention, you're spraying too close, you can get larger particles of glue, and there's a possibility that this can distort your image. So to reduce that, I always try to stick with heat tape, but also be sure that your pro spray, the nozzle's clean, that you're spraying nice and even mist, because if you have an older can of pro spray and you go to cover your image, it might not look so great when you transfer it onto your substrate. So just make sure you pay attention to that. Again, the heat tape is not going to leave a sticky residue like the Pro Spray can, because the Pro Spray is more of a adhesive type glue. But both of those you'll want to test out for yourself. You'll notice the certain items that work better with Pro Spray versus the heat tape. And also, we have many more products and services that we offer here at Conde. Can't show them all, so be sure to check us out at conde.com and watch more of my videos at condetv.com, where you can get great tips to use all these accessories that I've shown here today. I'm Brittany with Conde Systems, and thank you for joining us.